Hello everybody and welcome to the character collector's approach to Duel Links, unlocking all the characters with minimal effort and minimal resources. We are in 5D's world and this guy, Dark Signer Kalin, just showed up at level 10, which means I can try to go for as many of his unlock missions as possible. There are 5 unlock missions for him, just like for most of the characters. And this guy wants us to perform 2 synchro summons, activate 3 traps, get 3000 effect damage in, summon Stardust Dragon and get a comeback victory, all while using Yusei. So I'm doing exactly that, using a vessel farm variant here, and you're probably familiar with vessel farms by this point. If not, well, it's just buffing up my field until I can summon my Gravekeeper's Vessel, beef it up with Union Attack and then swing for game. Which is pretty much the plan here as well, but the problem is that he's playing some trap cards that actually decrease his own deck size and thin out his deck. So we are running out of time eventually. And if the cards we need cost like quite a lot of them, like Gravekeeper's Vessel himself, then at least 1 Union Attack, maybe even anti-magic arrows, and some other stuff, my tuner monsters for the synchro summons and stuff. So if some of those cards that I actually need are at the bottom of my deck, I am basically done for with this attempt. But luckily for me, I will be able to pull through, and that means I am trying to unlock Dark Signer Kalin with just this one duel, clearing all 5 of the unlocked missions. And that's quite nice, because previously we had to do this, or some of these, against him at level 30. Like the 2 synchro summons and summon Stardust Dragon getting a comeback victory, all against Dark Signer Kalin at level 30. The only one that we didn't need to be at level 30 was the 3000 effect damage, which back then was 3800 effect damage, so a little more. But it is what it is. Yeah, and maybe we should now try to push for game. Beefing up one of our monsters and then we can do it. And I waited for the right moment to actually play Gravekeeper's Vessel and perform the synchro summons and stuff, so that I get the max amount of attack points, since Hyper Synchron beefs up my Dragon Synchro monsters by 800, but they are banished in the end phase. So if I just synchro summon them this turn and then normal summon Gravekeeper's Vessel, I am fine with that. So now that we unlocked Dark Signer Kalin, we can go to a different character, and that is actually Celina. We are in Arc 5 world and play as Hugo, that we unlocked quite recently. This is Celina at level 30, she just showed up, and there are 4 missions I want to clear, which are getting a comeback victory with Hugo, activating 2 traps in a single duel against Celina, but any character can do that, and Hugo summons Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, and also we synchro summon 2 level 7 or higher dragon type monsters. The final and 5th mission for her was that we collect 3 fusion monsters, and we already did this by getting Arc 5 World to stage 6 and then opening all of these structured decks and starter decks and claiming lifetime cards and stuff. Speaking of lifetime cards, at the day of recording this, they just added Rainbow Neos and the Rush version Pot of Greed to the lifetimes card list, which means that's 1 more fusion monster you could actually collect for Celina's mission. So, how is the duel going? I am actually low on life points here, which is good, and honestly, at level 30, Celina, despite having a very strong archetype, doesn't really do all that much to us. And I am grateful for that. Then, after making sure that we get a comeback victory, so our life points are lower than hers in the last turn of the duel, we want to activate 2 trap cards, which we can do with stuff like Metal Morph and other things, like Kuna with chain and so on, traps that we actually already using. Then summoning Clearwing Synchro Dragon is quite easy with the skill, the starting skill for Yugo. And also when it comes to summoning another level 7 or higher dragon type monster, a synchro summon that is, I am obviously going back to Stardust Dragon. And getting Stardust Dragon summoned is actually quite easy if you're using the Stardust Nexus structure deck. If you don't have this one, then you may be a little, well, how shall we put it, in a predicament. But what you can also do is you can just summon your Clearwing, then get rid of Clearwing of the field, get it off the field with stuff like Link Summoning, a Gaia Saber, the Lightning Shadow, then use a card that brings your Clearwing back into your extra deck, and then you synchro summon it again. That would work too. But it's rather complicated and convoluted, and she thins out her deck, so it stands to reason that you don't get all that stuff that you need before the duel ends. So using the Stardust Dragon here as the second level 7 or higher dragon synchro monster seems like it's a good idea. Now we go to DSOD World and we duel Scud at level 20. I'm using Yugi here, but the one that I'm using the character is not really that important, because unlike other characters, Scud does not require specific duelists to beat him. So what I want to do here is getting the first win with 1000 or less life points remaining. And obviously I'm using hieroglyph lithographs for that, but I'm not activating them prematurely since he plays a few effect damaging cards, and therefore if I activate them as soon as I get them and he then deals effect damage to me, he might be able to beat me. So I wait until the last turn to actually decrease my own life points and therefore make sure that I am not losing the duel. Also, what we need to do is actually get a quick victory against Scud, but I'm not doing it in this duel. Instead, I want to perform a few ritual summons. You have to ritual summon 3 monsters in total against Scud at any level, and you can do this in 3 separate duels if you like. And I'm getting 2 ritual summons in. From one of the Red Eyes structure decks, I actually got a ritual monster, and besides that, you could use card tickets on Cyber Angel Ben 10 and Machine Angel Ritual and stuff like that. But if you're not willing to put any resources into the game or use any resources like the card tickets, you could also rely on Relinquished, which is in Maximilian Pegasus' starter deck. So Relinquished, a level 1 ritual monster, and therefore quite easy to summon if you already have the ritual spell card in your hand when you have Relinquished. And honestly, Relinquished would be all you need if you just ritual summon Relinquished 3 times in 3 duels against him at any level, when you have to win with 1000 or less life points remaining, since there are 3 duels in which we have to do exactly that, and therefore you could theoretically perform 3 ritual summons that way. But we are doing it with another ritual monster that I got for free just because I have it, just letting you know that you don't need that one ritual monster here specifically, and can do it with Relinquished. So, having said that, we could probably wait for one more ritual summon and then beat him up. And it's kind of a sad state of affairs that I'm not able to clear all 3 ritual summons in this duel, but I don't mind that since, as I said, I need to duel him a few more times anyways, and therefore can do that. Oh yeah, I'm using a Hungry Burger here, which I got from a drop reward after defeating some standard duelists, and you are probably bound to get a Hungry Burger and the hamburger recipe ritual spell card eventually that way. So that was a free card for me, but it's not a guaranteed card. That's the reason I mentioned Relinquished. Now, after starting the Scud unlock, we swap to the M world and can try to get our first duel against Tristan in. And here I'm showing a replay since Tristan spawned in at level 10 at some point, and I did not actually record that one, but just saved the replay to show you. So we have to win 3 duels against Tristan with Joey, so it makes sense to actually use Joey in this one. And another mission that I can go for against him at level 10 is that I perform 2 tribute summons. Now, you don't have to get both tribute summons in a single duel against him at level 10, you can do it in 2 duels, but if you are on it, you can actually do it. And that's what I want to do. And since I am the Red Eyes guy, and you get a character mission if you're using Joey's alternative style and summon Red Eyes Black Dragon 30 times, I think, was it 30 times or was it 10 times? You have to summon Red Eyes Black Dragon a bunch with the alternative style of Joey in DM World, and then you clear that mission. And since we want to get as much stuff done as possible with the least amount of duels or effort or whatever, we actually care about clearing several missions at once, or working towards several missions at once. This guy now is actually Solomon Muto at level 20, and he spawned in the world as well. And we have to beat him with 5 different characters, and one of them is DM World Taya. And for these missions, it doesn't matter if you're using the regular character or their alternative style, it counts towards the mission regardless. And I chose to go with Taya since, well, I don't have Yugi just yet, and I think I already did it with Joey. So Joey should have beaten Solomon already. So the only other 2 characters that need to beat Solomon are Seto Kaiba in DM World and Maximilian Pegasus, but both of these need to challenge him at level 30, and since he's level 20, those guys can't do it, and therefore it was smarter to do it with Taya in this instance. Also, something that I had to do, and it happened in between, was that I was able to duel Blair at level 10 when she spawned into GX World, and I used chess to beat her, and I won while having Ojama Yellow in the deck. And I did not record this because it's just beating up a level 10 character with a 21st card in your deck, which is of course Ojama Yellow, that you don't even have to summon or anything, so it's not that exciting, and I chose not to record it and not to show it here. And honestly, we already have enough duels as it is. We swapped to 7th World while I was talking, and we are now dueling Luke at level 30 when he spawned in the world using Yuga, because this is our attempt at a comeback victory. And it's one mission you have to do to unlock Yuo, is that you play as Yuga and get a comeback victory against Luke at level 30. So while Luke at level 30 is here, I may as well try it. And Luke is playing a few cards that deal effect damage to me, and I actually allow him to beat me up a little, but I'm not at risk of losing the duel at any point in time here. I just bide my time and wait, and maybe, if I'm feeling funny, I can run him out of cards to draw in his deck. But I don't need to do that. Also, getting Yuo takes quite some time here for me in this run, in this playthrough, since there are more missions and I'm not taking care of them until much later. It's just when I see something like this, I feel like I should give it a try and therefore work towards the unlock without actually following through with the unlock itself. So, since I'm running out of stuff to talk about, I maybe should tell you what we have planned for the rest of this episode, which is unlocking Bastion in GX World and working on Asana, or working on her unlock, I should say. But we are not actually finishing Asana's unlock today, since there's still one specific mission missing for me, and that is that Nail summons Cybers-type monsters 10 times, but I can only do this after unlocking Nail, so I'm not doing that right now, or right in this episode. But we already cleared a few character unlock missions. We unlocked a few characters, those of course being Dark Signer Kalin and Celina. We worked towards Scud's, Tristan's and Solomon's missions. We are now working on Duel, and we are getting Bastion, which means, including Bastion, who is going to be the unlock after this, we will have 3 unlocks completed in this episode. It doesn't sound like much, but if you played Duel Links before, you know that this stuff takes a lot of time. So, having said that, we can swap over to GX World and have a level 30 spawn of Bastion. And I'm on chess right now, since I don't want to have experience points on Jaden, since I already got him to level 23, and I don't want to play as Jaden right now, and therefore I'm using chess. So, versus some standard duelists in GX World specifically, I summoned a total of 3 Earth attributes, 3 Wind attributes, 3 Fire attributes, and 3 Water attribute monsters, and therefore cleared the remaining 4 missions for Bastion. And the final one was actually that I beat him up at level 30. So, Earth monsters, we have stuff like Gearfried the Iron Knight that you can get for free basically. Wind monsters is stuff like Elemental Hero Stratos. Fire is, well, Blue Flame Swordsman and Salamangreat Jack Jaguar that you can get for free. Basically, at least the Jack Jaguars are free. And water monsters are, I don't know, this one monster from Rebecca's starter deck, which actually gives us 800 life points during each of our standby phases. So, being able to summon some of these guys makes it possible to unlock Bastion, and we are now back to 7th world, and Yuga duels Asana at level 30, who spawned in the world. You have to, unironically, duel Asana 3 times at level 30 and beat her with Yuga. And this duel that we are watching is actually the 3rd win that I get, and I did not record the other 2 since it's just repetitive and not interesting in the slightest, I guess. It's just the same stuff 3 times, and you probably don't need to watch that. Yeah, but with that done, we actually can go to the next episode. Thank you so much for watching.